Hello everybody, welcome back. I don't need to make a massive long video for you this morning, there's really no need. We're moving up, we're continuing to move up exactly as we expected it would. Recognise some of these things that we were talking about in the past. The trend signal on Bitcoin, trend signal is continuing. Trend signal's now launched from the 90s to 120. My long position on Bitcoin is still existing from the 79,000. That's good. XRP continuing to make new highs, new all-time highs now, in fact. Again, people didn't think that this was possible. That's why I posted that little clip from my video, like, it was about 8 months ago. It was around about these areas, really. When I say, look, this is the time is nigh, the big breakout. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen now, and it's going to be really big. People didn't like it. What are you talking about, XRP? No, you fool. But now look at it. It's the leader of the altcoins, leader of the alt season, the strongest thing you've ever seen. No surprises there from me, though, because it was always an up-only chart, but people don't recognise that a lot of the time. We've now got a trend signal on XRP, even at these higher levels on a weekly. So who knows where it's going to go? But it's looking pretty good. It's nowhere near overheated, so I like it. So the one thing I wanted to point out is, so don't overtrade these markets if you're an inexperienced trader or if you're holding from lower levels. Think about exit points where you can take your profit and enjoy the returns. Don't think about getting in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. However, what I am going to say is how I see the market, and that doesn't mean you need to try and do whatever it is that I say. I'm just, I sit down in the mornings, make these videos based on my own analysis, whether or not I want to take part in what I'm talking about or not. I've got several strategies all running at the same time anyway. I've got futures trades, which I've posted in Telegram this morning. They've done really well overnight. I've got plenty of spot positions from way back. I've got XRP from the 20s, basically. I've got Ethereum from 160. I've got Bitcoins that I bought at 4,000. I've got chain links for like $5.50. I've got all kinds of stuff. Well, crypto's coming out my ears, basically. And those sort of things, I'm not overtrade those because I've been talking about this for a couple of years now. The prophecy that I have, or at least the roadmap that I've set out, which I believe is likely to be the case, is that I will be looking to sell a lot of that, not all of it, but a lot of that around September, where I think the market's going to peak. As you know, because I imagine most of you tune in, I see that most of my viewers are subscribers that watch me every day, so that's good. I've got good retention with you guys. So you obviously have probably heard me say that a million times, which is, again, it must be frustrating, but again, also might be reassuring to know that I haven't changed the goalpost, really. It's stayed the same, and we're all enjoying it now, knowing that the goalpost is in the same place. But what I am going to say, and if you're a member of the Patreon, you probably heard this on Wednesday. You might as well join if you're not a member, but you probably heard me talk about this on Wednesday. We looked at this, actually. Normally I'd look at the Bitcoin dominance, but last Wednesday we looked at this on request of somebody on the Patreon, and this made it feel like there is a good chance of a bounce. Just a bounce to a lower high, but a bounce all the same. We've got these candle bodies at here where we've found resistance, and we're coming down to that now. There isn't any bullish divergence here, by the way, so this might not happen at all. But if it were to happen, so be it. No bullish divergence on the 4-hourly, and there's none on the daily either. But there is a support down here, and if we do bounce, we'd likely see a bounce to any one of these moving averages, 10, 21, 20, and then into the death cross. If you got a bounce like this, it would cause pullback in the market, and it doesn't have to happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen over the weekend. It might not ever happen at all. But you'll get the pullback. And look, if there's one thing we should say about crypto or any chart, is that they do need to have pullbacks. Otherwise they get so overheated and they pop, and that might be it. You want to see a structure on a chart, higher highs, higher lows. You just don't want to see parabolic moves, because I want it to last us till September. That's what it looks like it wants to do, and if it goes on beyond, fine, but September is the key. But if it were to peak now, It might not reach September. It might just explode, pop, and that's it. Consolidate for a bloody long time, as it usually does. So I am looking for a pullback in the markets. Maybe 10 at this stage now, 10, 20, 30% in some of these altcoins, because they have gone bonkers and bananas. They've gone absolutely mental. But that is that. There's nothing else I can say about it. Generally, I'm expecting continuation, as you all know. The total 2 looking amazing as expected. This is working out very nicely. And again, I'm not here to say how awesome I am or anything like that. Well, I am just going to say that this is what I expected, and this is why I'm making money, and this is, I imagine, why you lot watch me, or at least take on board what I say as an interesting opinion, if nothing else, because it's correct. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we're moving into a higher high that should peak around here. Again, it's not for me to make these videos and go, ha ha. It's me just doing what I always do. Wake up in the morning, do a little bit of exercise, have a coffee, sit down, look at the opportunities of the day, decide whether or not there is opportunities worth taking that day, and record what I think out loud. That's all that's going on here. Well, you tell me, what's it doing? Is it doing what I said I thought it was going to do from all the way back down yonder when we overlaid this? We're moving into the last stage, I think, of the market now, which is usually the most aggressive stage, and many told us, didn't they? Many people will say that the cycle is over. This is how people work, and it's no disrespect to anybody. It's just human nature. It's hard for some people to not even imagine, but to think that anything other than what they see in front of their face is ever going to happen. When we go down, that's all that can be imagined. Now, when we go up, that is also all that can be imagined. Now, a couple of months ago, the prospect of reaching our previous high was open for debate, wasn't it, really? Not so much by me, but generally it was seen as impossible. Broken, failed cycle. It's all over. Rah! Now, I am telling you now, is what you're going to see now is extended cycle, new all-time highs, reaching beyond all expectations, never ever going to go down again. You can only see what's in front of you for a lot of people. Not you lot, everyone else. You guys tune in, subscribe to me. I've got, like I say, you guys are, most of my viewers have been subscribed for years. I've got a good, close-knit sort of subscriber base. So this is nothing new to you. But the other people, less so. We always get the odd straggler to come and watch my videos and go, no way. And they'll be saying no way now. They'll be saying no way. Trump this, laws that, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It will only go up forever. No, it will go up until it stops. And there's evidence for it to stop probably relatively soon, as the money flow index is now getting out of the comfort zone. We certainly want to get worried if we start moving into the 90s and move up to September, getting ready for a peak and a pullback. It will go up, but not forever. And if you want to talk about an extended cycle, that's fine. But you know what I always say? When the model fits, you might as well go with the model that fits. If it fits, it fits. Why deviate from a model that fits? It's always tempting if the prospect is that you might make more money. But for me, and for what a lot of people always talk about when they DM me in the bear market, is I wish I had have taken profit sooner. There's nothing wrong with making 100 or 200 or 500%. There's nothing wrong with that. That is not a problem. That is a first world problem, and it doesn't warrant anybody moaning about that. Oh, I only made 400%. Stop. I know that you're not doing that, but you know what I mean. There will be people out there that will start doing that. What, you took profit already, you paper-handed mother? Yeah, I did. Because it was my plan to do that. I bought here. I sold here. I bought here. I sold here. I bought down here. I sold up here. That is what I do. And you can call me whatever you like. But I'll be driving around not in anything flash, but I'll be driving around not needing to work, I suppose. Let's put it like that. I'm not a flash kind of person, but at least I don't have to work. Do you know what I mean? Right, I'll leave it with you there. There's nothing much more to say. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.